What you're about to see is an interview from with George Gugliemo and Ron Bell talking about nutrient package on his grapes in California.
Good morning, Ron. How are you this morning? Good to see you.
Well, I'll tell you, it's been 6, 8 months, hasn't it?
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Probably.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen you since we picked grapes. A little bit before that, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
One of the things, Jordan, I was curious about is, I think we've been at least 4, if not 5 years, working with.
Yes.
Started as a trial.
Yes, it did. Started directly as a trial. Yes, before BAMF. Well, I guess BAMF, I'm not sure who developed this because when I dealt with it, dealt with a PhD out of NASA.
Right. That was John Freeman. Dr. John
yes.
Freeman. Better get the doctor on there.
No, he is a very nice gentleman, and he's the one that kind of introduced it. He's actually the first one to come here and actually spray directly on a few vines to see where we got from there. We expanded to going into a few rows of vines, which would be about 900 feet long, and then we've expanded into like a 7-acre block that we compare to another 7-acre block. So what kind of production have we got an increase on? And this year here we're spraying the entire acreage here of 50 acres of wine grapes.
Well, fantastic. I remember the first time I came up here, I think it was the second year. They had it was out on the end row towards town.
Yes.
And I think they had 2 rows that they'd shot.
Yes.
And I was really curious about why they would use the 2 outside rows because it's next to a road. And normally you'll go 5 or 6 rows in before you do it. But there must have been some advantage to that. Did you see some increase?
I pretty much let John pick where he wanted to go on it. I says, you got this block here, what we'll do is we'll do 3 rows in this block or whatever, and then we can compare it to the next 3 rows and the next 3 rows and see what kind of, and these were hand applications.
Yes, sir.
That he did. I believe they were still hand on that.
Okay.
Acreage over there. And then from there, we did expand to doing half that particular block. And compared it to actually, I think we did the whole block. Compared it to a comparable block down before. We saw an increase in production, so that's when we decided to continue with the use of it and continue with the entire acreage here. So this will be the first year we're going to do the 50 acres of grapes.
Yeah. Well, last year, I know you called me towards the end of the season and said, what do you think application rates? You wanted to try to make sure you got your bricks up.
Right. We wanted to make sure we did what, the people that make the stuff experts say where we should go with this material.
Yes, sir. One of the interesting things is that when we originally started this, I think we were looking at 50-some ounces an application or something.
It was
per
considerably
acre.
more than what the recommendation is today.
And over the period of time, one of the things I found out, and everybody else I think along with it, is the fact that less is more on a lot of times. I mean, we found that particularly in the grapes, a couple applications or 3 maybe at 16 ounces an acre seemed to work pretty good. Mm-hmm. And is that what you're seeing?
Yeah, I mean, we are doing the 3 applications. I think one right now at bud break, and then I believe the next one comes in at fruit set, or maybe inspiration. And then I am not sure. Too many things. I also make wine here, so it's considerably busy. So,
well,
I am anyway. So, yeah. And so we just keep on top. And Ron is there for me to call anytime. And then I also have the ability. John Freeman actually lives in Morgan Hill, works up at NASA in Mountain View, so he's also available for me.
This was really an interesting deal to me when I first heard about it because you're one of the first adopters, I should say, and it's always been interesting to see where you went. I mean, it has to have added value, or else you wouldn't be still using it.
Yes.
And those equations are, am I correct or not? One of it's got to be the bricks count is higher, but it's got to be a tonnage and quality.
Yeah. We're looking at the vineyard here that we have old vines, and we're looking at some of those vines being planted in the 40s. We're looking at some vines being planted in the 70s. And this year we'll treat another 7 acres of vines that were planted in 2013. So,
Oh, wow, those are just coming
young
on
vines,
now.
Yes.
Yeah, those
yeah.
are just kids.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
Well,
So-
George, I guess the main thing is that the reason I wanted to shoot this video is because, number one, you're a guy who actually was one of the first. But the other thing was that you know, you've been around a long time, you've seen a lot of stuff. And I guarantee you that my thought is that you'd never be using this if it wasn't of value.
Definitely so.
So-
The fact that we have the older vines, with seeing the production increase and everything else associated with them, and FX, that's why and this year we're doing the whole vineyard, like I say, some younger, some older, and just to see exactly what
Well, I'll just call that a quit and get out of here. And I really do appreciate it,
problem.
taking your time to talk to us a little bit. But
no problem.
this stuff is really important to other customers, because you talk to somebody and you say, "Wow, why should I use this?" Well, number one, I can say, "Well, Billy Joe Bob uses it," and that doesn't mean anything. But when I say, you know, that if you really want to be able to take a look at this video, and George is going to tell you that he's using it, and I'm not paying him a dime for it.
No, and when we first started doing this, I wasn't paying a dime either. So
Exactly.
the results were seen. I mean, I went with John because he was a local guy and he was working for NASA, and they were trying to develop something that they could use in space. I guess this is what it was. Now we're actually seeing its results in the vineyard, and I think that's the most important thing. And in no way, being a small, medium-sized winery here in the Santa Clara Valley, it is very important for us not to waste money. So if I didn't see the results of this, we would be continuing to use them, I think.
Well, George, I appreciate for the 10 gallons that you purchased, and we'll
thank
be
you.
sending you a bill on that. And
So everybody, well, you do because they think
yeah, I
you're
got
giving
to.
it to me.
I'm not. We're not donating it. You're actually utilizing it.
Yes.
You've seen the value of it, so you're buying it
Yes.
as a direct customer, even though you was one of the first adopters.
Yeah.
Again, George, thank you.
And I
Appreciate it.
appreciate you taking care of me, and and I did call you. You said I'll be down there pretty soon.
And I was.
And we're actually starting our first spray program here for mildew control, as well as the first BAMF X application actually this morning. So it came in the right time with those 10 gallons. Although I still have a little bit left that will get me through this spray, and then we'll go from there. Thank you. Thank you.
Good deal. Thank you. Again,
you.
pleasure.
No.
Pleasure.
So that's what you needed. That's good.
Yes, sir. Now, hopefully we got